So many stories to share, and I'll just give some broad strokes, and then I'll try to focus in on one specifically. So, um, you know, being a high school teacher, sometimes you don't see um, impacts on students or on the school, right in the moment, because teenagers can be a bit more guarded, and sometimes they might not even appreciate it in the moment. But through having school garden and salad bar and local sustainable food systems, food literacy activities like farm visits, and working with local Indigenous elders um, outdoors. You know, I I do hear from some past students, 3, 5, well, I'm getting old, so up to 10 years in the past. And we have had students go on and become chefs, and work on local farms, and um, partner with like food justice and sustainability organizations, become nutritionists. I'm glad I've been teaching long enough that I can sort of remind myself of that when I'm having a frustrated day with a group of 14-year-olds, because um, it's going to have an impact in the long term. And one sort of specific project that sort of um, gives me a boost, and I see a lot of like uh, formal and informal benefits growing out of, is that we're a small high school, and we're fortunate that there's an elementary school nearby, and they launched a nature kindergarten program a few years ago. So it seemed like a natural inroad to make a partnership there. And we're now up to, during the nicer weather and the busier garden times, about every 2 weeks, the nature kindergartners come for a 1 hour collaboration with a high school class. And during the colder times, it's about once a month. So initially I thought it was going to be high school students sort of mentoring kindergartners, and we break them into small groups with a mix of high school and kindergartners in each group. But you really get to see how the fresh eyes of a 5-year-old in a space like a garden. They're not shy about their enthusiasm and their curiosity. And also often the kindergartners are more prepared than the high schoolers to be spending time outside and learning outdoors. So you kind of get this reciprocal mentorship, where the high schoolers have the physical capacity and some of the times the background knowledge to support the kindergartners, but the high schoolers sort of are reminded about how exciting and new learning can be. And so throughout the year, we do a lot of harvesting in the fall, and we kind of create and share some healthy snacks sometimes. We're lucky to be on the West Coast, so when the weather starts to get a little bit colder and wetter, we take them to the salmon run and work with local elders to do some ethnobotany and outdoor cooking. And so there's another sort of generational add. It's younger students, it's teenagers, it's adults. We sometimes have parent volunteers, and then it's sort of the elder grandparents. So you get a lot of intergenerational learning there. And then we plant all of our garlic, and last year we planted 400 flowering bulbs, and then the kids get to come back in a few months and see all that stuff growing, and we do seed saving with them. And it's so neat to see teenagers who might not have contact with kids that age anymore sort of remembering their own learning and having those supportive, positive relationships with younger students. It also sometimes helps teenagers who are feeling less confident and might not be straight A students bring value to their own learning and their own work, because sometimes high school is so busy with content and getting ready for what's going to happen after high school, that having tangible in the moment the work and learning of the students not just benefit them, but benefit their classmates or the greater school community, or community members beyond, like we help at the salmon hatchery and release salmon. We used to cook and donate produce for local food banks and soup kitchens and that sort of stuff too. So again, I'm all over the map, but just kind of bringing like meaningful impact beyond the individual student and getting them to take pride in their own efforts and learning really adds another dimension.